I work in GBS. I work in the warehousing space, and I'm doing project management for IT warehousing projects.
I'm in Fabric Care CMK,
Okay.
the North America side, and I work on the delivery team. Um, and a lot of us on the team work on different brands, different laundry brands, but I'm not on a brand right now. I'm just kind of cross category.
I work in CMK corporate functions, and I support the home care business. So my day-to-day life mostly is going between working at my desk and meeting with people to understand how I can take GLB capabilities, which is one of CMK's corporate functions, so things related to like copy testing and equity research, and apply them to the businesses in home care to help them out.
Well, as a returning intern, there was kind of a lag of time or a gap of time when I didn't hear anything from P&G, except for an email that P&G was cutting a lot of jobs. So that was kind of scary, which of course, halfway through the email, they said that it wouldn't affect me. But that was scary.
Overall, it was really good. It was very thorough. From the very beginning, when I got the lump sum to buy my flight and take care of a few other things, to the moving process. The movers actually came into my dorm and packed up my room, and it was very efficient, very quick. Um, Everything was at my house in, I'd say, like 3 or 4 days.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was pretty efficient.
For the most part, my transition was pretty smooth. Like I had about a month and a half between when I graduated and when I started working, and I lived at home with my family for the first couple months of my job, so I didn't move, I didn't have relocation. It was just a few kind of big bucket questions that I was trying to get answered that I had trouble with. One of the questions had to do with relocation. I had some questions about benefits, and I had trouble getting I was a previous intern, so in CMK there's a previous intern like bonus, and our understanding was that you were supposed to be able to get that before you started working, which for me not having relocation would have been helpful. But I had trouble getting it until after I started working, and I mean I eventually got it, but it was kind of one of those things where a bonus is supposed to be just a nice thing that's kind of handed to you, and I had to go through all these steps to just contact people and make sure it was on the payroll, and somehow it got to me. So.
Once I started the reload process, it was great. It was very stressful, but P&G did everything to make it as the least stressful as possible. So I really appreciated that. I thought the benefits that we got were extremely generous, and although regardless of what the benefits are, it's going to be a stressful time. But I didn't have to choose the moving company. It was all set up for me. All I had to do was essentially follow the rules and go with the process.
My relocation agent, Christopher, was really attentive. He made sure to get in touch with me probably about once or twice a week.
Okay.
When I was in the process of moving, um, and he just made sure that everything was all taken care of, which I really appreciated.
Setting it up was relatively easy. I had a few questions for my manager. The one thing is that I didn't know that I should get it at first. My manager told me about a month in, and just expected that was part of my onboarding.
The travel booking was really simple, really intuitive. Even as a new hire, I could go in there and I knew what I needed to do. As far as the expense reporting, that took a little practice, but once I got the hang of it, I can do it all by myself now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to set up. I have a direct deposit sending a portion of my check to one bank account and a portion to another. So I thought that was very easy to use. I set the same thing up last summer, so I liked that. Direct deposit just makes everything a lot easier, I guess.
Great.
Good.
Okay.
I get paid. I don't know what else there is to
That's right.
say.
I think the frustrating thing was like I didn't know exactly when I was supposed to get it, so I didn't know when I should or shouldn't raise a flag as to, hey, I haven't gotten this yet, until I heard some other people in my class saying, yeah, some of us never got our payment and we had to go to so-and-so about it, and that's when I was like, oh, I didn't get mine either. Okay. Because to some extent you knew you walk in the door and you don't want to like stir anything up.
The benefits session was really beneficial because I had no idea where to start, especially as somebody fresh out of college who's never done health insurance or any type of benefits before. And then I also liked, the only thing about benefits that I would say would have been easier is if we had our laptop sitting there right in front of us and could be like clicking through the screen as we went, or even having a one-on-one session with somebody who didn't necessarily tell us what to do but could offer us advice as we went through the process, because that was really difficult. I relied a lot on my parents during that time, but they didn't necessarily know the P&G process or the benefits that P&G offered.
Well, the understanding was very limited. In our onboarding, we had a brief overview of the benefits, but we also went over it in Band 1 college. And if I were to say that anything was like, there's like a negative thing that I experienced in just starting my career, that was probably the one semi-negative experience that I had.
I think I came in and I wanted to enroll for everything right away, but the information provided was almost too politically correct, if it makes any sense. But there was nobody there who offered that explanation, and there was no explanation really of the difference between the two. I think it would have been nice just to be able to talk to somebody face to face.
Okay.
Especially because I'm fresh out of undergrad, so this stuff is all completely new to me.
Okay. Where's the center?
Yes, unfortunately, that I found them very difficult to work with because I mean, peers and coworkers in general don't like calling because oftentimes it means waiting on the line either initially or waiting for them to find the right answers, and a lot of times you don't end up with an answer that you're happy.
When you say that they're not happy with the answers, is it because of a policy thing or because they don't feel like they're getting the right answers?
I think it's getting the right answers.
It was like they would talk to me and say, "Oh, we'll get back to you," or I'll elevate this, and then it was like they never did anything. It was like they forgot as soon as I got off the phone.
Okay.
They'll tell you, "Oh, we'll work on it, we'll get it done," and then you have to literally remind them weekly to make sure that it's done.
Okay.